initial lows and the highs seen for today and how exactly the market is currently handling those highs and the lows. Euro formed the low of 1.4356, which is intact, and currently Euro is around 1.4367 area, and the high is 1.4380, which is much lower than that of yesterday's holding level of 1.44 or 1.4398 area. And similarly, in the case of GBP, 1.5998 is the low, whereas yesterday's low was much lower than this, around 1.5940, and the high is also 1.6004 was the initial high, and it has breached the high. 1.6012 is the current high, so which indicates that they could make an upward stop or make one extended rise in the case of GBP and a downward move in the case of Euro in order to handle Euro GBP cross or drop Euro GBP cross. Then in the case of CHF, 1.0348 is the low, 1.0365 is the high. There is a typo. 0365 is the high, and both are intact, and they could breach the high and go above. Currently, the market is staying in the middle level, 1.0357. Then, in the case of USD/yen, 61.63 is the low, which is intact, and 91.63 is the low, 91.76 is the high. Both are intact, and you could come across that USD/yen cutting the high and going up a little bit and come down again when Euro and GBP are making the slide, because that is indicated very clearly by contrarian moves shown by USD CAD and USD AUD. So you have to watch the commodity pairs, and when the commodity pairs display the contrarian move, understand that they intend to make the contrarian move during this particular session. Then subsequently, when they make similar contrarian moves during the European session, understand that they could make contrarian move, and during such contrarian move, when GBP is rising, don't try to bet on Euro. And when they make a contrarian move, rise GBP and drop Euro, in order to drop Euro GBP, if you try to buy Euro, then probably you may not be able to book profit in that. Then when they make the USD weakening move or the USD strengthening move and try to enter into the market, not during the contrarian moves. When they make contrarian moves, they are all good times to enter positions in the crosses. Then as far as Australian dollar is concerned, 0.8858 is the low and 0.8879 is the high. So you find that 88.71 was the initial high, and they formed a new high, 88.79. So which also indicates that they wanted to rise Australian dollar as well as Canadian dollar during this particular day. Then they will make contrarian move for some time, then subsequently make regular move. Don't think that throughout the day they will make contrarian move, and don't try to bet on that. So you have to watch every time, then it change. That will give you an indication how far they are going to do the contrarian move. Then when they start making a reversal of it, that is either USD strengthening or USD weakening move, try to focus on that specific type of moves. So this is how we have to read from time to time the intentions of the players and take trading decisions rather than simply using any type of forecast. Then USD CAD, and also very important thing is you need to read all the 6 pairs simultaneously. Only then you will be able to understand how they intend to make the moves in the market, rather than focusing on the currency in which you are trading and ignore rest of the currencies. So instead, if you watch all the 4 majors in the 2 commodity pairs, you will be able to really understand the market moves they intend to make. And that is what invariably happens when you look into the chart. You might focus only on one chart, or you will read one chart and go to the next chart and things like that. By the time the moves would have happened in the market, you may fail to recognize their intentions, the true intentions. There might be some apparent intentions expressed in the market, and what is visible in the market is not true. So you have to keep that in mind and take trading decisions. And in the case of USD CAD, 1.0429 is the low, 1.0443 is the high, and which is intact. So which clearly indicate that USD CAD they want to hold and the AUD they wanted to rise. They cut the high. Then subsequently they will rise USD CAD and drop AUD. So this is what the expected move. So in the case of Australian dollar, they cut the high. So they intend to go above that of the high. And now if you see that they are still holding above that of 88.71 for more than 30 minutes. So which indicates that they wanted to rise Australian dollar now. Then whereas in the case of Canadian dollar, they are not cut the low correspondingly, which indicates that they want to make a rise in the case of Canadian dollar also. So they will rise Australian dollar and Canadian dollar to start with. Then make one quick rise in the case of Canadian dollar and start dropping Australian dollar. Once Australian dollar comes below that of 88.71, then it will go to that of 88.58 very quickly, and then the drop will be very strong.